A new chapter begins in the history of Worldwide Racing League. 20 drivers, all with the same dream of championship glory. And tonight, we tackle Bahrain. The third time in our history race here, but this time in a sprint format. A one-shot qualifying followed by a 5-lap race. And the results from there will form up the 50% race that comes straight after. Of course, guys, my name's Liam Hammond5, and joining me tonight and for this season in WRL is fellow owner CRT Carroll.
Cannot wait to get going. An absolutely star-studded grid for Season 3, and it all begins right here in Bahrain.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be part of WRL. We've just finished off the F3 and F2 races, and they were a little hectic and very just fast, I'd have to say. I mean, obviously, Carroll winning F3, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this F1 grid then, and as you said, star-studded F1 grid, sorry. And with Bahrain, a sprint race, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, starting off with a one-shot qualifying, which really throws a spanner into the works, as you don't really know what the order is going to be. Of course, reigning F1 champion Harvey has dropped down to reserve, unfortunately, this season, so it's anyone's game to play for, really. But currently a McLaren 1-2. Well, it was a McLaren 1-2 for a split second until Phoenix dropped down to P9. Really hard to commentate over these.
It's near on impossible, but we'll have to give it a go. As at the minute, AEM Kirby of your Mercedes team, is in P1 and looking like a good time right now for him. SSR Husky in the Alpha Tower in P2 with Jackster in P3. Sanchez just climbed up to P2. Down the rest of the field, we've got Az, who just retired, so unfortunately for the Aston Martin driver. He'll have to come up from the rest of the field to get a good result here. CRT Matt at the back as well. Jam Pancakes, 44 in 15th. Obviously, some people know Jam Pancakes, but we won't say the famous line. Spenny F1 has just come in last minute. He's in 10th right now. Jim LFC rounding out the top 10. But we are going to stay on board with AM Kirby, as it looks like he's going to come across the line first. He opens up DRS. And it will be Kirby on pole.
26-0. Oh, that's, as the Mercedes team owner, that's got me very excited. And as a neutral commentator, that is very close. I've seen at least 3 times in the 26-0s. Yeah, would you look at that? 81 hundredths between the top 3.
I saw Spenny there, as I said. He was in P10, and now he's just gone to 4th at the end of that sector, in that last sector. So an incredible last sector there for Spenny F1. Let's run you through the grid then for the sprint qualifying in one shot. On pole we have the Mercedes AM Kirby, P2, the reserve, Jackster 20. P3 with the Alpha Tower of SSR Husky, with Spenny in 4th and Quantum in 5th. A bit of a shock result there for the Ferrari. Atom in 6th place, a fantastic result for Atom. AJ Nolan in 7th. TRC Sanchez in 8th, and rounding off in the top 10 with 2 Hasses. Got a Gaming and Gamer Man Steph. PSR Gish in his WRL debut in 11th here. Skies Blue in 12th. McLaren team owner CRT Phoenix in 13th, with Jim LFC in 14th. A bit of a disappointing performance there for him. Jam Pancakes 44 in for Red Bull in 15th. For Elijah Vettel in 16th. Formula FSM 17th with CRT Matt 45 in that Red Bull in 18th. Jacob surprisingly on mediums. I think a bit of a mistake there for Jacob. I don't think he realised what he was doing in 19th. And as the only man without a time will be from the back of the grid.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise there from Jacob. Yeah, I think he's got that completely wrong. He must have misunderstood the how this works, but we have gone through it plenty of times, so it is up to him to catch up and to realise that what it is he is doing. But yeah, Harvey, our reigning champion, in the chat saying anything under a 26.3 is pretty good, and everyone in the top 6 was in the 26.2s or below, as someone readies up instantly, which isn't really a problem, as there's not really much strategy or anything for a 5-lap race.
Yeah, can't take any fuel out, can't change tyres at all. But let's get into things then.
Yeah, as Liam's had to step away for just a sec, so I will be talking you guys through the start of this race. But yeah, very, very stacked grid, as the lights are now on. AM Kirby will see the field through. Lights out and away we go. That's a great reaction for AAM Kirby. Absolutely pulls away from Jax. So Jax has dropped down to P5. It's a woeful start. CRT Quantum, on the other hand, got a very good launch up to P2, but I think he's just going to lose a position to SSR Husky, and he does. Jacob has retired, and Jim LFC has picked up a 2-second penalty for a collision with CRT Phoenix. On board with Quantum at the minute, might not be the same on the Liam screen. I'd imagine he'll be on board with Kirby. So Sanchez is now retired, so it's an awful start for TRT Sanchez in the McLaren. Of course, he has a reserve, so won't score points for the constructor, but will score points for himself in the Drivers' Championship. Elijah Vettel all the way down at the back as well. Quantum up to P3. AM Kirby's already broke DRS to SSR Husky, so absolute dream start for AM Kirby. Of course, points for the sprint race is the top three. P1 gets 3 points, P2 gets 2 points, and P3 is 1 point. And of course, it also sets the grid for the 50% race, which will come straight after. It's like, yeah, as a DJP_UK says in the chat, what a start, Jesus, and I have to agree. Absolutely amazing start from AM Kirby, which it gets me very excited, as he is my driver, as I am the Mercedes team owner, as I'll probably say multiple times throughout this season. So that does get me very excited. As I will check the position change, but obviously won't be the same. CRT is up 9 places, as I am currently on board with Phoenix. So it's going to be a bit of blind commentary until Liam returns. Phoenix going around the outside and PSR Jish. A bit of contact ahead of AJ Nolan and God of Gaming, and a bit of a wobble there for Jish as he loses the position to Phoenix. Phoenix takes P9 for the McLaren team.
As we will check the position changes.
Oh yeah,
then.
Harry, I'm actually the Merc here. I don't know if you.
Position changes. The big winner so far is
Yeah, AM Kirby doing a great job at the minute.
Yeah.
Second gap to SSR Husky, but of course Husky will have the advantage. Well, not really an advantage, but he will be trying to catch up and get back within DRS. He has just about 80% of battery to work with, and very close behind. Quantum, Spenny, FG Adam all involved. Is a bit of a cluster back there, as I think Liam is now back.
Yeah, and I've been back for a while, didn't realise I was muted. But you'd have to say the big winner so far is CRT Az, so 9 positions in that Aston Martin. So fantastic start for Az, my Aston Martin teammate. But someone goes very wide there, I don't know who it was. But you'd have to say the big loser so far is Jackster. Or TRT Sanchez, gone down 11 places, but Jackster from 2nd down to 6th. He's got it all to do in these upcoming laps. DRS will be enabled next lap though. And SSR Husky, is still quite far away from that Mercedes driver of AM Kirby. He's going to have to really start pushing unless he's just going to settle for P2 and just look ahead to the 50%. Of course, at 50% is so different to the 5-lapper, because 5 laps, you don't have a lot of time to make mistakes. You don't have you don't need a incredible amount of consistency like you see some drivers do have in the 50%ers, such as Jam Pancakes or CRT Matt. But yeah, really incredible showing so far from Kirby, and you must be so pleased with your pick right now as your F1 Tier 1, Jack.
Oh yeah, it is very early doors, as we are yet to get into the full race for round 1, but currently a second ahead of SSR Husky, who is in turn 1.3 seconds ahead of Quantum. That's spinning all over the back of him in that second DRS zone on the straight after turn 3, or after turn 2, sorry. But yeah, it's very, very close in the midfield. I think if Kirby can manage this pace at the start of the 50%, then he'll be in dreamland. Husky as well, doing very well to pull away from Quantum, who's no slouch in his own right.
And yeah, it's obviously very interesting to see in the 50%. Will anyone go for softs? I'm sure most people will be going for mediums, but we did see in F2 and F3 that people did go softs, and it did work out for some people. As we are on board with Spenny here. I think Quantum has got the DRS of Husky, and he does. So you have to say Husky right now, a bit of a sitting duck. And it's looking like the Mercedes driver of Kirby will be picking up the sprint victory here. CRT Phoenix does progress and goes up into 8th place there. Good showing so far from the McLaren and Jish as well. Got side by side of AJ Nolan. Great show of respect there from the two drivers. I think AJ Nolan having a little bit of a wobble, and that might mean that Az can have a little go at him. Az with no ERS whatsoever, under 10%. And stays in 11th.
Bit of a mistake there. from AJ Nolan, as you say, as up to 11th now. No ERS, but it's pretty understandable as he has managed to gain 9 places. He goes for a bit of a lunge here on AJ Nolan. Ooh, bit of contact, but I think it's fair game. And as sees himself up into P10 as side by side as Sky is Blue and AJ Nolan for P11. I think AJ Nolan's just going to keep it as he
Ooh.
slightly tags Az, but I think no harm done there. He does keep P11 for now.
Yeah, of course, CRC as our Season 1 champion, so it just really does show how much this grid has evolved and progressed from back there. Obviously, not saying Az is a bad driver, he's far from that. But we're just, the amount of competition we've been able to add in just a small amount of time, it's been fantastic. But as we go on to the final lap of this sprint, it's looking like a win for the Mercedes then in this sprint. SSR Husky has got a count on his pace in this last lap because Quantum's going to be all over him. Both of them draining ERS. Spenny's got probably the best chance here of potentially getting P2. As, no one makes a move. There's, Spenny touched the rear of Quantum. You have to say, a fantastic sprint so far from Atom. Really showing his worth in the Alpine. Obviously, the Alpine team owner.
Yeah, very good pace from Adam. I have to say, it's come as a bit of a surprise as he was probably, you'd have to say, no disrespect intended, that he was a midfield driver last season. I don't think he picked up a win or even a podium, but I will have to double check on that. But he did pick up points almost every race, which is the important thing. And if he can manage to keep that consistency in this season, then you'll definitely see a lot of points and maybe some more podiums. But doing good so far to keep Jackster behind, who had an absolutely horrific start. Lost
Steph's
4
round.
positions off the line. Oh, and that's Gamerman Steph round. P16.
Jam Pancakes with a
Jim,
penalty as well.
yeah, Jam Pancakes and Jim both picking up penalties. That's 4 seconds now for Jim, but he is P18, so it won't affect the result.
But of course, there are points up for grabs here in this sprint race, and 3 of those points will be going to that Mercedes driver then. AM Kirby is going to come across the line, and he will take the sprint race victory there. Win for Mercedes. Husky in second. It's Spenny who takes third ahead of Quantum. Wow.
Great exit in the final corner there for Spenny. And that gives him a point on the board and P3 for the start of this race. That's a great final corner there for Spenny.
Fantastic for Spenny there. You see Jackstar moving, as I said, moving down 4 positions. A bit of a, not the sprint race that he would have wanted, but so many incredible overtakes in that sprint race. And, well, we're nowhere near done yet.
Yeah, that's just the start. Still have 29 laps to go of this wonderful circuit, and that's not including the formation lap, which of course we will have for the main race.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a controversy. Apparently, Quantum is saying he did finish ahead of Spenny. Of course, if we do get any proof, we can show it. So we will just wait for now. But here is what is the potential grid then for the 50%. Of course, it will only be Quantum or Spenny changing. Kirby takes pole position for the 50% and will start this race from first in the Mercedes. Husky, great showing from him in second place, so he rounds out the front row. Spenny in third, could start fourth, depending on the proof that we could be about to be sent. Quantum in fourth, obviously, as I said, might be third, blah, blah, blah. Atom in fifth, great showing from him. Jackstar, probably our biggest loser in this sprint as he drops down from second to sixth. Got a Gaming in seventh then. He started ninth, so good showing from him. And CRT Phoenix, the McLaren team owner, starts eighth. Jish in ninth, and Az rounds out the top 10. AJ Nolan in 11th. Skies Blue and CRT Matt in 12th and 13th. Formula FSM in 14th, and Jam Pancakes did get a penalties, which is it cost him 14th place, so he'll be starting 15th. Steph had a little spin at the end of the final lap. He'll be starting 16th with a Vettel. Jim, Sanchez, and Jacob all starting at the back of the grid.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. Of course, Jackster will not be pleased at all with that start, but still far from over. Still has 29 laps to rectify what just happened.
Yeah, and I do know Jax, he's a great driver, very, very quick. I mean, we've obviously just seen. And Obviously, 50% is 40-minute race basically. It's 29 laps of Bahrain. There's strategies to be thought of. Obviously, we do say it is a medium soft. And if people do go for that, then I think they're on the optimal strategy. We will see people starting softs as well, probably lower back from the grid, but we may see a soft runner in the top 10 as well. Of course, it's free tyre choice for everyone as well, so whatever tyres they want to start on. As Quantum has just sent me some proof. We'll have a little look. Yeah, I would say that Quantum has finished ahead of Spenny there. It's not the best angle, but yeah, Spenny has said as well. So Jack, if you want to put Quantum third, that is the correct result. But it will be a Mercedes on pole position, taking home the 3 points in obviously in Jack's flying silver arrows. 3 points already on his tally. He's looking to maximise this weekend and make it another 15. Of course, you get free, like in real life, points for the top 3 points for the winner of the sprint race, 2 points for the man who finishes second, and 1 point, for the man who finishes on the third step of the podium and finishes third. But as we have said, it's free tyre choice, so strategies will change. I'll be shocked if I see a man on hards, because I think that will be a huge mistake. But I think the strategy from most, I think we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what teams are in separate parties and talking to each other. As personally in F2, me and my teammate Untied Stone, we split our strategies and it did kind of work for us. Unfortunately, Untied Stone didn't do the best. Didn't have his best race, but it was working. So I wonder if we'll see any teammates do that. Some teammates who I do know probably will be in a party together. Maybe Matt and Pancakes. I think they'll be in the same party. I know Sanchez and Phoenix are. And looking down the grid, I'm not sure if anyone are. Obviously, they all have their chats with their team owners. Team owners will give them advice on what to do. But the grid is set then, and we are able to ready up. We do ask if anyone is watching the stream. If you do, when we do go into the 50%, please don't ready up. The lobby admin should be CRT Matt 45. So whenever he gives the green light, we will go. Remember setups as well. And here we go then. 29 laps of Bahrain. Here we go. That's just while we wait for some people, we will run you over the calendar for this season of WRL. Obviously, Bahrain, the first race. Next week, we will be heading to Jeddah for the first ever time in WRL. Then we will be going to Imola, back to Europe, as our European tour from round 3 all the way up to round 10, until we see ourselves go back to Asia, go to Singapore in round 11. And for the first time since season 1, we'll be heading to China. And for the debut, we will be going to North America as we head to Canada and the USA. Abu Dhabi also makes a debut this season in WRL at a penultimate round. And, of course, it wouldn't be WRL without a Brazil finale. We head there on the 3rd of June. But we are in the race then. Let's head on over. And let's see what tyres people are going to be starting on. Jack, welcome back to the comms box. I'm sure you've just been on the grid.
Yeah, it's just looking, speaking to a few of the drivers, seeing how everyone's getting on. Of course, I had to set the grid as well, which is fun as you can imagine. I got everything right.
Yeah, so as we have mentioned before, we do want to try and get some drivers in to do a little pre-race interview. I will invite some, and let's see if anyone does want to join. I've invited CRC Matt 45, and doesn't look like... Okay, we won't actually invite anyone else because it looks like we're ready to go. Obviously, I'm not sure if Matt has done that. I can't see it on my screen.
Well, no messing about.
No messing about tonight in F1. Hopefully people will remember their setups.
Yeah, I could definitely tell that a few drivers in F3 forgot to put their setups on just compared to the straight line speed. It's happened to me a couple of times. It's not fun, and it's basically your race over as far as being competitive goes. But hopefully that's not the case for these drivers.
But as we have a look then, the top 8, all the mediums, PSR Jish starting 9th on softs. We do expect then a rapid start for that Mercedes driver. And then we have AJ Nolan, Sky is Blue on mediums with Matt on softs then. So splitting the strategies at Red Bull. We did suggest it and it has happened. Former FSM on mediums, as I said, with Pancakes. Gamerman Steph in 16th on the softs. He'll be looking to charge through the field early on. Elijah Vettel on mediums with Jim as well, looking to charge through the field. Sanchez and Jacob at the back of the grid on the mediums then. Any shocks there for you, Jack?
Oh, I know he picked the wrong tyres in one shot, but I'd say Jacob. Wouldn't expect him to be this far down. And I am right in saying that Jacob is Cobb, who from the sign-ups. Yeah, so based off the time trials that I've now seen, he was right at the top. I think he was probably the quickest. And so to see him starting in P20 for the first race of the season is not a sight I expected to see.
No, of course he did have his little trouble in one-shot quali and didn't understand the format, but I'm sure a mistake in round 1 is probably the mistake he'll be okay with as long as a season goes on, because he can't win it in round 1. And I'm sure Jacob will be up there for race wins this season. Does it surprise you that only Jish in the top 10 on softs? Or did you kind of expect that?
Yeah, to be honest, only 4 drivers starting on softs is to be expected. I wouldn't... Steph and Jim will be definitely 2 drivers to watch at the start. I'm sure they'll make up quite a few places, although, that being said, the drivers ahead of them are Jan Pancakes, Formula FSM, Sky is Blue, Matt 45, who's also on softs, and then Az and AJ Nolan, so it's not going to be easy.
I mean, it's not going to be easy to overtake anyone on this grid. As we said so many times, it's a stacked grid. But AM Kirby then, your Mercedes driver and your man on pole for the first race here in WRL Season 3. He lines up on his grid position, the grid position that Max Verstappen took at the start of the last season, if I'm correct in saying.
Yeah, it was Max on pole.
And we know how that went at the end of the season then. Will the man starting pole in Bahrain finish with a title in his hands at the end of the season? We're about to kick off F1 here in WRL. Here we go then, we got... Are we going to start? 1 red light, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go then. It looks like Kirby gets a good start. It's a fantastic start there for the Aston Martin. Of, I think that is TRT, of Spenny, sorry. Spenny F1 going up to second place. A bit of a dive bomb. And he's... there's this huge contact at the back. Oh my... Oh my god.
I'm not sure if that was desync or what that was, but I seen a car backwards in the air. With a car off, that's a PSR Jish off in the barriers. I would not be surprised if that's a safety car, but there is no one. Everyone's managed to get through without DNFing, which of course is a positive.
It is a positive.
A lot of cars.
Yeah, it's probably quite a bit of damage in that. I saw front wings, I saw cars flying everywhere. But look at the gain for Gamerman Steph, and look at the gain for Jacob. Up into 7th and 8th then.
P7 and P8. respectively. That's absolutely amazing for them to manage to avoid all of that despite being right at the back, which is probably the place you want to be, really. Looking at the positions lost, SSR, Husky, FG Adam, and PSR Jish all lost 12 or 11 places, so absolute nightmare start for Husky. He started P2 on the
Oh,
grid.
Jim and CRT have had a bit of a come together, and thankfully for Jim, he has gone into the back of the barrier with his rear wing. Of course, there's no simulation damage here in WRL. That means he'll keep going and hopefully doesn't have any damage. But I'm sure that'll be one for the stewards team to discuss. Kirby and Spenny currently in a world of their own out in front. 1.3 seconds up the road from Quantum at the minute, or 1.7 in Kirby's case. Fantastic start there for the Aston Martin and the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, I'm sure from their point of view, that was a perfectly clean start that they see nothing wrong with. So, absolutely in a world of their own. 1.5 seconds ahead of Quantum, who in turns 9/10 ahead of Sky is Blue, who's also a big gainer from the start, up 8 places from 12th up to 4th. Great start from the AlphaTauri driver. Oh, bit of contact there with Jackson and Steph, but they both still facing the right way, and no damage seems to be done. So,
I mean, obviously we don't want to see it.
Wheel bind.
Six drivers already in the pits on lap 1. It's not something we encourage or want to see in our league. I'm sure he will drop a message in there later on. But
7 drivers.
7 drivers, and sorry.
Down.
As Matt 45 takes out a pit board, a polystyrene board. Very unlike Matt. He does he's a big fan of those. But he's taken that one out.
Sky's Blue's gone. Oh, that's luckily for his sake. He has reset it back to track without doing any damage to the car, which of course is allowed as long as you're not putting someone massively off and causing incidents. So I think he's just about got away with that. We'll of course need to cool those tires down, as I'm sure they're in the hundreds right now. So Kirby sets the fastest lap. Still has Spenny all over the back of him. So of course DRS will now be available from this lap. Spenny will be able to attack Kirby a bit closer.
Kirby does go a little bit wide there.
Steph, Jackson, Phoenix, all close together. Phoenix up to 4th, Steph up to 5th. Steph now up 11 places, and he's made that
12. Jackster, is he got past Phoenix? Has a little bit of a dive.
Wheel-to-wheel stuff.
Great driving so far from the Williams and McLaren. They're going to go side by side through this S section, and it's fantastic driving for them. But Spenny's gone off.
Spenny off. Luckily, he's ghosted. Luckily, for the sake of the Jackson Phoenix, so that would have been an airplane crash. But no damage seems to be done to Spenny's car, and that's an absolutely wrapped Christmas present come early for AEM Kirby.
And when it comes to early, we're talking 10 months early. Unreal there for Kirby. And there's another yellow flag. It might have been not
I think I might have been
100% sure. But it's all starting to calm down a little bit now. I'm surprised to see the CRT Quantum 2.3 seconds away from Kirby. Obviously, he's moved up one position, which is good for him. But we have seen how quick Quantum can be. Obviously, just recently signing for esports team at CRT.
Yeah.
As it looks,
changed the gamer tag as well to set the tone. You always love to see that. But yeah, 2.4 seconds behind Kirby. It just shows how strong Kirby is with a clean air ahead of him. He's got absolutely no one ahead until halfway through the middle sector, that being his teammate for this race, PSR, or Jish, of course, until Archie returns from his holiday.
As retires already.
As it retires in the pits on lap 3, so
I think it may
have to be honest, if I was the Aston Martin team owner, I'd be absolutely furious with that.
May have been a coming together there for Az and Matt. I did say, I think one of them may have had a coming together, as Matt comes in for a wing change as well. So I wonder if them two have had a bit of damage.
Az has retired in the pits. You see his ghost car just ahead of Matt.
Yeah, he came in because he had some damage. He said, he's just put in the chat, I had to retire. Anyone that came near me died because of my stupid connection. So,
yeah.
I assume a coming together did happen between those two.
Yeah, I take back what I said then about Az's Matt spun in the exit of turn 2. But yeah, fair enough to Az to realise that he's affected other drivers, and I don't mean that by his pace, I mean that by that he will be able to take people out just because of how bad his connection seems to be, and I'd imagine he has I forget the word for it, but where some people might be different on the screen to where he's seeing them.
Desynced.
I do forget the desync. Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, fair play to Oz for knowing that he's a danger and retiring. But it is unfortunate for him and his team that he'll lose out in some good points because of issues beyond his control.
Of course, the reigning constructors champions Aston Martin is the team that Az is in.
Yeah.
As we do carry on with this race, though, right now, Gamer Man Steph up 13 positions, and it won't be long until he makes it 14. Talk about back of the grid, 2 on the top step. Well, Steph is definitely challenging for this, and you'd think as soon as he gets past Quantum, he could be putting a dent into Kirby's lead, as he is on those soft tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. On those soft tires, he is making the absolute most of them right now. Only him and Jim are the 2 drivers on softs at the minute. So to be fighting where he is, despite starting 16th, it's a great racecraft from Steph to avoid all these incidents and be right up there, where realistically he should be.
Of course, yeah. Steph did finish second last season in the overall driver standings in F1, obviously behind our season 2.5 champion Harvey C19, of course now a Challengers driver, so it's that's no defeat for him in any shape or means, but it looks like he's going to shape a move up here on Quantum. I think Jaxter did just miss out on DRS as well to Steph, and he has done. Phoenix has got DRS on Jaxter, so I'm sure he'll be starting to put on the pressure on this Williams driver. Steph moves up into second.
Here comes Steph now. Yeah. Fairly easy move from Steph. I know Quantum's probably not going to fight that awfully hard, as it has a difference in tyres, and I think Quantum will just be hoping to be pulled closer to Kirby now from Steph, because both drivers in CRT. So it might be a bit of gamesmanship and a bit of teamwork between those 2, despite not being in the same team.
One thing I do have to notice right now, AM Kirby's cruising 90% ERS on that Mercedes car right now. He's really in a world and class of his own right now.
Yeah, it's a bit like watching an endurance racing where you have in World Endurance Racing, you have the hypercar class as a tier 1, and then you have LMP2, and he's sort of driving like he's the only hypercar on the track right now. 3.1 seconds ahead, and of course, just under 90% ERS charge, so he's prepared for anything right now, it seems.
Yeah, well, of course, we do have to mention the up-and-coming Spenny as well. Of course, had a fantastic start to this race. There's already a yellow flag, and that's
Formula FSM in the Ferrari. Had a spin.
It's a shame for him. It's very easy to lose out in the S section. If you get on the curbs the wrong way, you're definitely going round.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving back to Spenny, he's 95% ERS. You would think he's starting to use a little bit of that now to get past Phoenix and Jaxter potentially, because his race is far from over. He can definitely still get on this podium, and well, hell, he could even still challenge for the win.
Yeah. Interesting now, as I believe Jaxter's lost DRS to Quantum, so he might be a bit of a sitting duck here to Phoenix and Spenny. But a poor exit from Phoenix might see him under threat from Spenny, but both of them have DRS, so he will have the slipstream from Jaxter ahead as well. So he'll keep P5 for now. But yeah, a bit of a train forming behind Steph. It's not close together, but all these guys from Steph down to Jacob all within DRS of each other. As I believe that's Matt 45 has had a spin. Not really going his way at the minute, in danger of being lapped soon if he has picked up damage there, which he has. So he's going to need to pit, and I could very well see him a lap down, of course, if he doesn't retire once he goes into the pits. Is Sanchez, first driver to pick up a 3-second time penalty of the day, which is pretty difficult.
Matt does carry on, so I wonder if he's hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, I'd imagine that is what he's doing. He does have a sizable gap to Kirby, so if he can get a safety car in the next 3 to 4 laps, that will really save his race. And if not, I fear that will be his race done.
Yeah, of course.
It's a shame because
we know
Matt pretty
Matt.
good in these.
He hasn't had the best of time to practice as he is in Canada right now.
Yeah, he is in Canada. So
nowhere near his
sort of give him a bit of leeway.
Nowhere near his home in Kettering usually, but it was yeah, hopefully he is home soon so he can practice for these WRL races a little more. Matt was a I think he actually finished fourth in last year's driver standings. I mean, it's a fantastic result considering the amount of pace we have to show even last season. It's a great season
Ooh.
Matt had. But Quantum is, as there is a safety car.
Yeah, safety car one. I wonder
Random.
what that's been given for. As I don't see any. Well, that's a virtual safety car, I believe. 'Cause I don't see a safety car leaving the garage.
I don't even see what it is because I've just got a yellow flag.
Yeah, it just says yellow, a double waved yellow on the whole track. So I'm not too sure what that's for. 5-second penalty for Formula FSM for speeding in the pit lane as he does retire. So I'm not sure what that's for.
Is it a safety car? Or is it a...
It's got to be a virtual because they have all slowed their speed and they're not going for overtakes and there's no safety car out on track, so I believe it is a virtual safety car, but we haven't been told. And hoping for these drivers' sakes that they have some sort of clue what's going on because we don't.
I mean, I've got the VSC graphic on right
virtual.
now. If it is that, it's a different story. Hopefully it is, because otherwise...
It's given Matt 45 a good opportunity to pit for the repairs because the speed these guys are going, he's not going to be lapped. He's going to get out comfortably ahead. But not too sure what's going on.
Your guess is as good as mine, if I'm completely honest, Jack. It's I think if it was a full safety car, we would have seen the guys on softs like Steph, for example, pit. I'm surprised Steph hasn't pit anyway. It was a virtual safety car.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. DRS enabled and green flags. It was a virtual safety car.
So we did get it right.
Herbie got caught a bit napping there, as he was about 4 seconds ahead, and Steph's clawed that gap down to about 3.4 seconds.
And you can see that Red Bull car ahead of CRT Matt. Obviously, he has. Thankfully for Matt's sake, he did get the chance to pit under that VSC, so he's not really in danger of being lapped yet. Of course,
He's pit for softs as well,
Yeah.
which should help him pull away a bit.
I mean, we probably will see a fastest lapping coming here from CRC Matt. Very quiet race from himself and Jish and Pancakes, but of course is I think that a little bit of carnage that happened right at the start of this race has killed off some people's hopes of a good result in round one.
I do believe Pancakes has also moved to wheel now from pad, so I would expect him to struggle for a little bit to get back up to full speed. And his racecraft as well, so he's going to have to be like learning all over again as if he started league racing from scratch. So,
but it is a train then from Game Man Steph in P2 all the way down to Jacob in P7. It's I mean something that you usually do see at Bahrain. To be fair, it's quite well known to be a DRS train circuit, and it is definitely one of those right now as well. I wonder if we'll see any moves at the top. I think we'll see Quantum retake second place off Steph, and
as he
do.
does.
It looks like Steph is starting to struggle a little bit on his tyres. I won't be surprised to see him come in on this lap, or maybe one lap after.
Yeah. So 10 laps on the softs. I think about 12 is about the max you could do before they hit the cliff. And I think he'll be in this or next lap, I'd imagine, under the mediums for a simple one stop. Of course, safety cars can very much change the face of this race. So Quantum has a bit of a wobble on the curb, but starting to pull away a bit now from Steph, so that just sort of shows what his pace is like on these softs at the minute. And he does have a big train behind him starting to form now, with Jack still at the helm of it.
I mean, we have said how impressive Steph starts this opening 10 laps of this race was for Steph. He has climbed up from 16th on the grid all the way up to the podium spots in third. But is all that hard work going to be undone when he's on mediums and those guys on mediums right now go into the softs?
Yeah, but I think the only saving grace, of course, if there's no safety car, is that he'll be pitting 9 laps before these guys. So he's got a big chance to undercut, especially looking at the gap he's got behind him, just behind Sky is Blue, or sorry, SSR Husky. There's a 19-second gap between 11th and 12th, so you'll have plenty of clean air to go into.
Of course, Husky did start second in this race. He has made a stop already. Same with Elijah Vettel, Sky. Actually, no, they haven't made stops. That's me being a bit stupid. But yeah, it's I mean for Husky all the way back up to the leaders. We will see a move then from Sky's Blue on Elijah Vettel. moving up to 8th place. Is he? Elijah Vettel's still there on his inside, but no, he does give up the position eventually. And Steph's tyres are off the cliff, it looks like. Jack's up into P3 now.
Yeah, good move there from Jackson. Managed to go around the outside, and just the superior grip he had compared to Steph just allowed him to make that move very easily. It's a bit of a tag there from Phoenix, and that might see a Spenny pull alongside him, but Spenny does think better of it, and I'd imagine Steph will be in this lap.
Oh, Spenny goes down the inside of Phoenix.
Dive bomb there from Spenny.
Has he got the move done?
That's audacious.
It's audacious, but he's got it done. There was no contact.
He's got it done.
And I was just about to say, is Spenny hiding back some of his pace? A bit of an unknown driver within WRL, as we haven't seen him before. It's his debut tonight. But he's been absolutely fantastic, showed some incredible pace. But is he saving on to a bit of his pace with having 90% ERS? Do you think he's wasting it a little bit here, Jack?
Yeah, there's not really much he can do, because he does have 3 cars ahead of him, all within DRS of each other. So he's oh, sorry, I know I was on board with Jacob, but if Steph coming in now, that frees him up a bit. So I think this is where we'll see Spenny start to stretch his legs if he doesn't get overtaken by Phoenix here.
Yeah, and on board with Phoenix
could be under threat from Jacob.
Jacob is gonna try maybe line up a move on the McLaren team owner. Good defending there from Phoenix. Oh, he's got it all wrong!
Spin from Phoenix. As Jim makes a move on Sky is Blue for P7 now, and that's 12 laps on those softs now for Jim. That's very impressive stuff.
Yeah, and he's still making moves.
Yeah, on Sky is Blue, who's on the mediums, which in theory should be much better, but he's going to lose another place here if he's not careful to Elijah Vettel. He's down the inside of turn 3, and he's gonna be ahead into this corner, so Sky Blue's gonna need to back out, which he does smartly, as Steph does come in, and as I said, he has come out in that nice gap between Husky and P12, which is now occupied by FG Adam.
Yeah, Adam, another one going a bit under the radar in this race. Of course, started I think 5th or 4th in the sprint.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, got it all wrong at.
Oh, it's Gotta Gaming.
Yeah, got a game, and then looking like some people are starting to struggle when they use tyres in the first sector, especially. We know it's a very hard sector to get it right, especially right at the end of it. And he has claimed another victim. Jackster, 3/10 off Quantum now, looking very impressive. Is he going to get past the Ferrari driver here? I think Quantum's just saving on to his pace a little bit. As AM Kirby really extending his lead at the front then. 5 seconds away from Quantum in P2. But Jackster makes an easy overtake up into P2.
Yeah, good move there from Jackson. You have to, whenever you're not really mentioning the guy in the lead, you know they're doing well. You don't really need to talk about them, because they're showing you with the gap increasing to P2 every lap. And here comes Quantum back at Jackson, and he's going to be ahead into this next corner, and I think Jackson really should back out, which he does smartly, and Quantum retakes P2.
Yeah, good to see from those. So, of course, Quantum and Jackson will be representing WRL in an F1XL Invitational in just 2 days' time. So,
yeah,
we got to hope they'll be friendly to each other.
Point. Yeah, well, that was some good racing there, as Quantum gets very eager on the brakes. There's a bit of contact between Jackson and Quantum, but I don't think it wasn't heavy enough to warrant any damage. But yeah, Quantum looks like he's struggling a bit for pace, especially in this middle sector, which is the real technical part of this track. Because if you take away the sector 2, it really is just Monza. It's a pretty straightforward track until you get to that middle sector, which just really sums up most of Herman Tilke's tracks in general. But good racing between Jackson and Quantum so far, and you'd imagine Jackson's going to get back into P2 come the end of this straight.
I just wonder if Quantum is going to get swamped a little bit here. I think we will see an overtake from the Williams and the Ferraris. However, Quantum using a lot of his battery power, and looks like he's going to keep himself in P2, and he does. I was just wondering if Spenny was also going to get Jackster and Quantum at that point, maybe move himself up. But Jacob, an incredible drive from him so far. We mentioned how quick he really is, as he's moved up 15 places so far in this race. But Sky is Blue and Elijah Vettel carrying on their little battle. And it's a fantastic battle for P7.
Oh, big waffle there from Sky is Blue. He did very well to hold that, and I'm sure Elijah Vettel's probably pooed himself a bit with that. But he's going to move his way back up to P7, and yeah, he does. But yeah, I think Sky is Blue is just going to be happy that he's still in the race right now after that.
Yeah, so I mean, we've seen. It feels like everyone we go on to just to say, yeah, they're
Oh,
doing well. They have a little moment, sort of
yeah,
Phoenix. But no,
bit of a commentator's curse, but luckily not as extreme as we do. We do have 18 drivers still running with none of the two retiring drivers retiring with from a crash, both retiring in the pits. So it has been a bit of a quiet one as we do get to the halfway point of this race. Not a safety car in sight except for the virtual we had for. I'm still not sure
for whatever reason it
why
was.
we had it. Yeah, for whatever reason Cody's could think of to throw a virtual. But as say AEM Kirby now 6 seconds clear of Quantum and P2. That's a really good consistency from Kirby so far, and Quantum moves over to the right to break the two. Jackson doesn't follow him, so that's interesting.
Jackson, I thought Jackson for a split second there was gonna try dive up the inside of Quantum, but he does. He
Yeah,
thinks better of it. He uses his brain and thinks better of it. It's a long race to go. At the minute, you'd have to
gonna go
say,
for the move here, I think.
he, we're side by side. Him and the Ferrari, Jackson, the Ferrari driver of Quantum. A lot of respect
Side
for
by
there from
side.
them two.
Good move there from Jackson. Really good move on Quantum. It was very high race IQ to wait until turn 3 to make that overtake.
The other flag, and that's Jam
That's
Pancakes as unfortunately lost it on the final corner. Very easy to do when you're on used softs like he is.
he's
As
gonna come into the pits, I'd imagine.
oh,
As
it's Jacob gets past
past
Spenny.
Spenny. Oh, Spenny off on the gravel as Jam Pancakes does retire in the pits, I think.
Yeah, he does. Oh,
No,
safety
he
car.
hasn't. I think Jam Pancakes crashed there. I'll go on board with. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I think he must have lost it on used tires. I really hope he hasn't crashed on purpose there because that would not be ideal. But that's a safety car now. 15 laps into this race. If you're on mediums, what do you do from here?
It's a tough call. Obviously, you have this fresh mediums, but at the same time, you have fresh softs.
Yeah.
So, do you go on the softs and just try long it out? Let's see what Kirby does. It's soft tires for the Mercedes.
Yeah, I think softs is probably the way to go for these guys. I think they're quick enough to be able to manage softs for 13 laps on the softs. You did see Jim LFC. I think he did about 12 or 13. Plus, you'll have a couple laps under this safety car. So I think softs is the way to go from here.
Yeah, and this does bring CRT Matt back into the race. Of course, he made the decision to pit under the VSC, which is smart from him. Gamerman Seth stays out. I'm not too surprised. However, he's on used mediums, and he's gonna be in fourth.
Yeah, fifth.
Fifth there for Gamerman
Place for
Steph.
Gamerman Steph. But he will be surrounded by guys on the soft tires. Only him and Jim. That rhymes. Him and Jim are the only ones seem to be staying on mediums. But of course, they only pit like 2 or 3 laps ago, so those mediums are going to be easily go to the end. But they are under pressure now of being swamped by these guys around them because they're not. I think everyone in here is going to be quick enough to be able to overtake Steph and Jim, who are on mediums and fresh softs, at least in the first few laps of the restart. So it should be interesting to see how these two get on.
I mean, we did say it's looking like the race is all but wrapped up there for your driver AM Kirby. It's not anymore. It's time for him to, I mean, really show his racecraft now, as you don't have to show any racecraft when you're leading the race by 6 seconds. He's now going to be under pressure from Jackson, from Quantum, from Jacob, and now from Spenny as well, who's going to get himself back up into the race as well, which will be exciting to see. I wonder if we'll see Steph maybe come into the pit at the end of this race, at the end of this lap, sorry, because I feel like he might get a bit swamped under these on these first few laps when the safety car restarts, because those I mean, fresh mediums compared to fresh softs are about 1.2 seconds slower. So with her used mediums, you'd have to think maybe 1.5, 1.6, 1.7. He's going to be struggling compared to those around him.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Everyone on the soft tires, other than those two, Matt 45 on 7 lap both softs, but I feel like he's just stayed out just to make sure he was under no pressure being lapped, and I'd imagine he'll be in this lap for a set of softs, for a fresh set of softs, that is.
So I'm very surprised there that Jim has not coming to the pits, he would have lost, I think, 3 positions. Obviously, it's a little bit more risky for Steph, as he would have probably dropped down as well with Jim if he did pit down to 11th and lose 6 positions. However, bit surprised that Jim hasn't gone in there.
Yeah, it is a bit of a surprise, but it seems that he values track position over having these fresh softs. Maybe he feels that these softs cannot go to the end, as Elijah Vettel and Husky seem to be having some shenanigans under safety cars. Husky, or as Elijah does, let him back through. But yeah, Matt back in for a fresh set of softs, as I expected. And that will mean he'll have the freshest softs of the lot with, well, if the safety car comes in this lap with just over 11 laps remaining, or 12 laps even.
Yeah, 1 lap fresher softs compared to, 1 lap older softs, if that does make sense, is quite high. It's about 4 or 5, sometimes 6% per lap on the soft tyres, and Matt has just saved himself that extra hassle and just gained himself a bit of extra speed, perhaps.
Yeah, nothing to lose as well. So he was P16 before that, but he's only lost the position. He is last, but nothing really lost, and everything to gain. But I do think the safety car might stay out 1 more lap, depending on how quickly Matt catches up to the back of this grid, or of the field. He only has a straight and a corner to catch back up to them, as safety car will be going a snail's pace. So it might be a late call into the pits here, potentially. But
I wonder if Matt will sort of just lift off a little bit and make sure safety car is at 1 more lap, just to put some extra percentage on.
I believe that is what he's done.
And it's worked. The safety car will not be in this lap. 1 more lap then under safety car. Look how beautiful the Aston Martin safety car looks in the night time of Bahrain. Beautiful. But we will see 10 laps of racing then in this round 1 of WRL here at Bahrain. Of course, we had the sprint quali. If you missed it, go back and watch it after this race. It will be uploaded onto YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's a good thing to mention. Of course, all these races will be uploaded to YouTube after the race, so you'll be able to go back and check even after the 2-week limit for your broadcasts expiring. So you won't need to worry about that. I think Steph's, I'm not sure what happened to Steph there, but he's still in the same position, so nothing really to worry about.
Yeah, still Steph is Steph still hasn't pit as can't actually just tell you, Jack. I'm not sure if you're interested, but Manchester United have gone to penalties with Middlesbrough.
Didn't even know the FA Cup was on, to be honest. Well, that it does make sense as Liverpool are playing Cardiff in a couple of days.
Yeah, so just a quick little break away from WRL for just a quick hot second.
Yeah.
And if anyone's a Man United fan, one, I do feel sorry for you because terrible club. But 2, you're going to penalties with Middlesbrough. But that's not the reason why we're here. We are not a football channel. We might make a football channel. You never know. We're here for some F1 racing, and it looks like we are about to get back underway for racing. As it looks like safety car will be in this lap. I'll be astonished if it's not. And there it is. Safety car is in this lap, people. This is where it gets interesting. Will AEM Kirby have the consistency and the pace he has showed at the start of this race to pull away from those behind? It's not going to be an easy task for him now that everyone's on the same playing field and everyone is around him. But it'll be super, super impressive if he can do it. Does he go early? Does he go late? We are about to find out here. There's 30 viewers right now in the stream. Thank you to everyone watching.
He goes early.
And he does go early. As AEM Kirby...
He's caught Jax to absolutely napping there by the looks of things, but Jackson is going to get that nice toe. And Jacob all over the back of Quantum as well. It's going to be interesting going into turn 1. It has to leave that space on the inside, or else they'll be forcing him into the wall. But Jacob switches back to the outside very late on the brakes, and he's going to get the move. He's going to be up into P3. Great move there from Jacob.
Fantastic
up into P3
from Jacob. And as Elijah Vettel gets past SSR Husky as well. As always, some McLaren going off there. It looks like it was Sanchez, the Mexican man, up against the Americans. So the 2 North Americans in WRL coming to blows here as they go side by side at the end of Sector 1. Now through the S section, they're staying side by side Will respect be shown? It will. Still side by side between the two drivers.
Oh, his Husky's gone.
Oh, his Husky's gone. Has he gone into Atom? No, he didn't.
No, he ghosted luckily, but yeah, that was always going to end in tears. The wheel banged like 3 or 4 times, and yeah, I think Husky just going for a gap that was never going to stay open, and that's sees him all the way down into P17 and last.
I mean, it was fantastic driving, but that one point, one of you has got to back out, and it's usually the less stubborn one who doesn't. And unfortunately for SSR Husky, he is the one that ends up round. But he's still a long time to go in this race. He's nowhere near out of the race by any means, shape, or form. Matt making up no positions right now. It's still in 16th for him, as the top 4 are starting to separate from Steph. So as we predicted, Spenny has got to get past Steph as quick as he can, because he needs to put some pressure.
Here comes Jackster for the race lead. He's used 40% of his ERS, and he's up into the lead now of this Grand Prix. So that's the first time we've seen the lead change. Kirby's dominance, it looked like it could not be stopped, and Jackster has shown why he's one of the quickest drivers in WRL. But 30% difference in ERS, Kirby with 92% and Jackster with 65%, so it will be interesting to see what happens, but Jack's already starting to pull away slightly.
Yeah, I mean, some people do favour certain tyres in certain races. I mean, I do favour the soft tyres here at Bahrain compared to the mediums. Looking like potentially Kirby does prefer the mediums compared to the softs, as Jax has shown some incredible pace right now. However, one thing I will say is Kirby just potentially thinking about the long game, as there is 9 laps to go. DRS, of course, will be available for drivers to use in the next 2 or 3 laps. Is he just going to want to stay behind Jaxer until the final few laps where he knows he'll definitely be getting that win? Because Jaxer's got a push now.
Yeah, that is true, but Kirby is going to need to do his best to stay within this DRS of Jaxer, because Jax is not exactly a slouch. I'd say it's probably maybe even quicker than Kirby at some places, maybe even Bahrain, as we are seeing him start to slightly pull away, but Kirby still staying with him, as Jacob and Kirby that gap's starting to increase a little bit.
Yeah, 8 tenths now from Jacob to Kirby, as there is movement at the back of the grid for the final point position. Sanchez going side by side with Elijah Vettel, and Sanchez moves up into 10th. One of those drivers that has been
FG Adam.
Very quiet. Atom as well, potentially.
Yeah. Adam trying to get past as well, but Elijah Vettel closing the door on him. And a bit of a poor exit from Elijah Vettel, but I think he's just gonna about stay ahead of Adam for now. But yeah, DRS now enabled, so it'll be interesting to see how Kirby manages this. If he'll just go for that move instantly and have the potential pressure of bringing Jacob and Quantum closer into this fight, or will he just play possum, as you were saying in America, and just try and just keep behind Jackson as long as possible before making that move for the win. But well, we will see over the course of the next 8.5
Sanchez
laps.
now gets past Jim LFC there. Of course, Jim on the mediums, so a move for Sanchez needed to get done, and he has got done. The Mexican is on a charge here in Bahrain. Steph, I've just noticed, 17% ERS already. He's really struggling, the Haas driver. And it won't be long probably until those soft runs behind him start to catch up.
Yeah, everyone in the top 5 on about 45% or less, and then you have Kirby on 75%, so he's doing really well to manage that ERS and stay as close to Jackster as he is. Of course, still does have DRS, unlike Jackster, but I think as Matt gets a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, and he has retired.
There's another safety car.
And that's another safety car.
I wondered if there's been a coming together between Matt and I think AJ Nolan, as AJ Nolan's off. And yeah, you can see Matt, he's I think he's going to cross the track then. And kind of just...
He hasn't even hit a barrier, by the looks of things. I think he's just a massive contact with someone. No
clue what happened there. We'll have to...
He's sitting in the middle of the runoff, but I don't think he's hit a wall.
So, I don't know what happened there for Matt, but surely now for Jim and Steph,
I'm sure he'll tell us.
It's time to pit, surely.
Yeah, you'd imagine, but 7 laps to go. They are sitting 7th and 10th, and you'd imagine.
I mean, you must
With
say Steph had a fantastic start on the softs. I mean, of course, did get a little bit lucky with people having crashes around him. But I just wonder if he can do it again. Then I wonder if the Haas driver does go in, because I'm sure those 9-lap-old mediums now may be a little bit similar to the 5-lap-old softs, and I wonder if we'll see those on softs going in again for fresh.
Well, Jackster goes in.
Jackster's in. Huge shock.
What? Sky is, but no, it's Gimmerman, Steph, and Sanchez, and Elijah Vettel also in, as is Jesh, as is Adam, as is AJ Nolan. So Jackster will only drop down to 9th, but that's still 8 people he has to overtake in, what, 4 or 5 laps? Shit. No, he's dropped down to 10th now. So yeah, that's really, really odd. I think Kirby just lured him into the pits, and I don't. That's really strange. I don't know why you would risk going in when you're in the lead of this race and have the pace to win this race. It's 5 lap older tires isn't going to make as much of a difference as you'd think it would, especially with the fuel tanks with only about 5-6 laps of fuel left in them.
I mean, complete shock. I don't really know what to say. Why? I mean, Jackster still has the pace. Let's not get this wrong for 1 second. If Jackster wins this race, you'd have to say, wow, fair play. He's got it completely right. I mean, as you said, he's got to overtake 9 cars. Is he going to be able to do it?
Yeah,
in 4 laps.
It's not just any 9. That's just not just any 9 cars. AJ Nolan, God of Gaming, Jim LFC, Sky is Blue, CRT Phoenix, Spenny F1, CRT Quantum, Jacob E66, and AEM Kirby if he wants to win this race.
I have to say, Jackster, if you're listening, good luck.
Yeah, good luck. It's going to be some feat if he manages to achieve it, and will surely take driver of the day if he manages to complete it. But he's got a massive job on his hands. Of course, there'll probably be a few drivers that won't fight him awfully hard, but with 4 laps to go, you're going to put everything on the line to keep these high positions, especially if the sky is blue and ahead and above.
I'm not surprised to see some people come into the pits as, I mean, fresher tyres for them may work out.
Sanchez, Vettel, Jesh, and Adam, and Steph, that I can understand because they were either on mediums or they were near towards the back. So I can understand that. But as AJ Nolan goes in, so that's 1 less car for Jackster to worry about.
It's surprising. It's surprising and confusing. Why are these drivers coming into the pits when they're, I mean, in the points position?
Such little time remaining. Yeah. It's not like you're going to have an overwhelming amount of pace compared to the rest of these guys. This is probably one of the most stacked grids you'll see on Xbox. Maybe just below the likes of WR, if I can get my words right. But it's definitely up there as one of the most stacked grids on Xbox.
I would have to say it's a pretty very stacked, but I would say a pretty unknown grid. You got some drivers who come in and know they're just a very quick driver. However, they're against people like, yeah, I'll be quicker than them. They don't know that until they get on the grid. Not many people know about Quantum. Yeah. Quantum was a find for CRT and a find for WRL. So when they race him, they think, Christ, he is a quick driver. So many of those in this league. And, I mean, we're showing it tonight. Safety car, 5 laps to go. I can't tell you who's going to win right now.
Yeah. I don't have a Scooby. Obviously, in my heart, I want it to be Kirby, but it could realistically be any of those guys. Maybe apart from the 3 with penalties, but I think any of those 12 guys could realistically win this race, because who knows what could happen in these last 5 laps, as you say. But I think the safety car should be in this lap, so we will have a 5-lap sprint to the end, which is ironic, seeing as we have a 5-lap sprint race before the race.
We started with a sprint, and we're going to end with one here. 5 laps. Then at Bahrain, 7-lap-old for softs for the top 6, and got a game in 8th with Jim LFC on 10-lap-old mediums. It's fresh tyres for the rest of the grid. Half of them are on fresh softs, half of them are on used tyres. Who is going to prevail and who's going to take some important points here in WRL Season 3, Round 1? Will Kirby go quick again? Let's have a look.
It's gonna be a slower one. It's gonna keep them waiting.
And he's gone
he's
then.
gonna go
5-second
now.
collision there for Steph and
5-second
Jackster.
penalty. Yeah.
I'm not sure what's happened there. Jaxter's down to 13th. Jaxter's gone. Sanchez has gone.
Oh. Oh. Could that be another safety car, maybe?
It's very rare you see a safety car.
Think it will. I think it's
straight after one. But Spenny and Jacob side by side.
Look at everyone from P6 down. They've been absolutely caught napping. Everyone from P behind Phoenix. But as Spenny's
Quantum's round. He's hit Phoenix.
Quantum's out.
Is there going to be another safety car?
Quantum's out of the race. It's not going to be a safety car. It's too close to the other safety car, and I believe Phoenix has massive damage. Yeah, he's losing that whole left end plate. But that's an absolute drain for Kirby, because now he's got Spenny right behind him, who's got a 3-second penalty.
And I did watch Spenny's penalty, and it did look quite unjustified. He had to take a run-off, and he took the penalty for it. So he could get it removed. Indeed, this race is far from done, ladies and gentlemen. People are going crazy in the chat.
Safety car!
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
You have to say,
what is happening?
It's been carnage. But wow.
It has been absolute carnage, and you gotta feel for the likes of Kirby, Spenny, and Jacob. They've just kept their nose clean this whole race, and there's just constant stoppages to let them continue. But Jackster, yeah, that decision has come back to bite him. He is out of this race. I don't know what happened to him, but everyone from behind Phoenix just got caught napping, and there was about a 1.5-second gap as Phoenix does go into the pits now to repair his damages, which is, yeah, it's understandable. God of Gaming as well. There's Gamerman Steph, and you'd imagine Sanchez too. I think Sanchez is damaged, but I can't be. No, he doesn't. But what I do know is, no matter what happens, no matter what the gaps will be, the safety car will be in on the end of lap 27, because it needs to give you the 2 laps, I think, of full green flag racing. So I don't think we're gonna have DRS again, which is interesting.
It's down to pure pace then. Who will it be?
Yeah.
I mean, an unsung sort of a driver here. Elijah Vettel up into 6th on 2-lap-old
Sky
softs.
blew up to 4th again as well. He was in 4th earlier, of course, and then had that spin, the fast right-hander at the end of Sector 2.
I'm lost for words. You see, I mean, it's a McLaren Haas at the back there, as I'm pretty sure all of them have come in again for fresh softs. So, I mean, they may prove worthy.
Absolute crazy start.
But Jim LFC, as the laps go on, he's thinking, Christ, I'm on these mediums, and it's kind of working for me.
I'm still here, still in 5th. So, why change? If it's not broken, don't fix it. As he's kept out of trouble, and he's kept with these guys, and still sees himself in P5, which would see him go home with 6 points. I want to say, yeah, 6 points for P5, which of course with our different point system, you'd say, well, that's not a lot, but it's only 9 points less than what the winner gets. So, which it would be a 15 point less with the normal point system. So I think we're gonna get one more lap of the safety car. Then it's going to come in at the end of lap 27. So we'll have lap 28 and lap 29. So we'll have 2 laps left of this race to go.
Wow.
It's anyone's race to play.
It's anyone's game. I mean, it all comes down now to pace, courage, commitment. Who is going to be able to do it here? It's going to be something, as I can confirm to you, Jack. Middlesbrough have knocked Manchester United out of the FA Cup.
Lovely scenes.
So, if something hasn't gone right for you tonight,
I'm going to go to the toilet
in WRL tonight, just remember, somewhere across the globe, Mason Greenwood is a sex offender. But congratulations to Middlesbrough as they go out, as they progress through the FA Cup. As I said, we're not here for the FA Cup. We're here for WRL action then. Lap 27 or 29, run the safety car. And we are 2 laps of racing away from crowning Season 3's F1 Round 1 race winner. I can't tell you who it will be, guys. I'm going to have a guess, and I do think Kirby is going to win this race. I'm gonna give it to Jacob as well. I think he will come second. And I think we may see a surprise here from Elijah Vettel, potentially moving up the positions and potentially getting a surprise podium. What do you think, Jack?
Oh, that's a good shout. Elijah Vettel has kept out of trouble this whole race, really, you have to say. He's had a race-long battle with Sky is Blue for P4, so it would be right if the battle between them two maybe it can be for the podium, especially if Spenny doesn't get that penalty removed.
Yeah, I mean,
and I will actually check Spenny, see how many warnings he has. So he has had only 3 warnings, so he might be able to get that removed. But safety car in this lap for a 2-lap sprint to the end.
it's gonna be carnage, I expect, but I think we have got a fantastic few laps on our hands here. I wonder what CRT Phoenix can do here in 10th position on fresh softs. He's had a fantastic race all race, to be fair to him. But will he be able to produce that good points for his McLaren team? As Kirby does get us underway then.
Kirby's gone. And that's going to be an illegal overtake for Jacob. He's going to have to give that back as he has passed him before the line. But he does get a really good run. Is he going to let him back through, or has he gotten away with that?
Elijah Vettel tries to go down the inside of Jim. And he's...
Oh, he's going to get it done.
Oh, has he got it? He has. Sky's Blue's got in. I didn't even realise. But Elijah Vettel up to P4. It's a dream podium. I think it'd be a first podium for Williams since season 2 of WRL. I mean, it sounds like we're only on season 3, round 1, but that's a long, long time ago now for the Williams team to go without a podium. They potentially still get a win, which would be their first ever win in the history of WRL. Elijah's got a chance here. 2 laps to go. He's got to get it done quickly. Jish up to 6th then, going past Jim. Jish on Jim. Christ, that's hard to say. Phoenix in the background. Is he going to move up to 8th? He does. He's got it done.
A lot of gaming pushed a bit wide, but he's still on track. So he can definitely do something here. Jish has lost 1.1 seconds behind Adam, so he's dropped off a bit. 1 lap to go after this one. We will see, well, we won't see the white flag come out, but the proverbial white flag will come out to signal that it is the final lap of the race. Lap 29 of 29. Kirby has a nice 7/10 gap to Jacob, but you'd imagine all of his ERS will be deployed here as Jim has lost quite a few positions.
I think Jim's mediums have finally caught up to him. As Sanchez has gone as well.
Sanchez has gone. That's unfortunate. Spenny looking for a move on Jacob as well. This could be for P2 as Elijah Vettel very late on the brakes. Going to go around the outside as Sanchez retires in the pits. But bit of contact, and that's going to see
Adam goes through.
Adam's in the P4.
Oh my god.
He's going to try and go around the outside of Spenny, is he? He's going to try it, but Spenny, I think, has a better traction, and he will stay ahead and keep P3 for now. Of course, does have a penalty, which may be removed, but who are we to say? Phoenix picks up a 3-second penalty. It wouldn't be a race without Phoenix getting a penalty. As Jesh makes an audacious dive bomb on Elijah Vettel, but Elijah Vettel, does he stay ahead? No, he doesn't. He goes very late on the brakes. Callum Ilott-esque, but without the ending contact as Phoenix gets ahead of Jesh for P6 now.
There is absolute carnage up and down the field. I don't know where to look. Atom right now, he's on for a surprise podium. But after his pace we saw from him in the sprint, is it really a surprise? Yes and no from him. Phoenix, you have to...
Oh, big dive from Jish, but unable to make it stick. It was a clean dive, but I think Phoenix saw him coming. But our attention goes to the man in P1. He's had a perfect race.
I think he's only not led 3 laps of this race as AM Kirby wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. There we go, I got it out eventually. Kirby wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Jacob going from 20th to 2nd. Unbelievable
Great
from
race.
Jacob. Wow, what a race. As Jacob, I think deservedly so, picks up driver of the day. Would you have to say that's deserved there, Jack?
I think it's hard to disagree. I'd say Jacob going from 20th to P2, you gotta say, he kept his nose clean the whole race. Only had to do 1 stop, kept out of trouble, got his way up to P2, but a bit biasly, Kirby leading all but 3 laps of the race. That's absolutely superb from him. But yeah, I think personally I've got to give it to Jacob, just for staying out of trouble, getting up to P2 in the end. It was a great race from him.
Yeah, and a massive shout out there to gamer man Steph, finishing 5th in the end. So didn't really notice that at the time, but a fantastic result from Steph considering he started with 2 laps to go. I think he was last in the actual driver's left was 13th. So fantastic there from Steph.
Yeah,
He had a fantastic race. I mean, we saw it was definitely the race for the drivers to make up positions. Then, as you see, Steph finishing 5th from 16th. Elijah Vettel finishes 4th from 17th. But of course, the big winner, Jacob, from 20th on the grid, onto that podium in 2nd. Christ, what a race that was!
absolutely unbelievable. It wouldn't be a WRL race without some without some bumper cars laid on with a late safety car, but it's high attrition stuff and the high stakes as well to match it. But I think a few drivers may need to be taken to a side and have a word with, because some of the driving, it was very on the limit, but I think some of it crossed the line a bit. I'm not going to name names, but they'll know who they are. But yeah, hoping for I'll say I'm hoping for a much cleaner race next week at Saudi Arabia, but it's probably one of the most goofiest tracks you'll see on the calendar, just for the layout, how close the walls are, and just the speed. So I'm expecting quite a few DNFs next week, to be honest. It's such a new track and such an unknown for a lot of these drivers.
Yep, and if you don't know what track we're on about, we are on about Saudi Arabia. Then I'll show you our calendar. So we head to Jeddah next week, in what will be a chaotic, incredible, and competitive race back here in WRL. Join us next week then, as we do kick off round 2. You've just watched Bahrain here in WRL Season 3, and a fantastic round it was. Chaotic, carnage, and that was just lap 1, turn 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in tonight's streams. Of course, if you want to see some more WRL action, join us next week on Friday. You know where we are, the home of Friday Night Racing, kicking off at 8 PM with our Formula 2 race. If you would like to watch the F3 race as well, we will be linking it on our Twitter, which is at RL Worldwide. Go follow us on there and show us some love, as we do post some cracking content on there too. We will be back live at 9:30 next season with myself and Jack for some more F1 action here in WRL. But apart from that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next week. See you later, guys. Good night.